Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
Despite the noise complaints, the pressure, and the criticisms from within the government, Attorney General Avichai Mandelblit has just come out in defense of the protesters outside his home in Petah Tikva. Without giving too many details due to the personal nature of the matter, Mandelblit did say that freedom of expression and the right to protest are fundamental rights in a democratic state, and that it's especially important to uphold this freedom in areas where the views are grating. The protests have been going on weekly for months, drawing crowds of thousands to a square close to the Attorney General's home. Demonstrators accuse Mandelblit of dragging his feet in the corruption case against Prime Minister Netanyahu, and Netanyahu's supporters have in turn been staging small but fairly consistent counter-protests as well. In response to the demonstrators' demands for fast action and indictments, though, Mandelblit said, quote, "We will continue to act responsibly and decide only in light of the evidence. This is the sole basis for our work. Political background noise will not influence us," end quote. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Gutteres continued his trip through Israel and the Palestinian territories yesterday, visiting with top Palestinian officials in Ramallah, as well as the families of imprisoned Palestinian terrorists. Sitting with Palestinian Authority Prime Minister Rami Hamdallah, the two discussed the prospects for pushing a two-state solution. While Gutteres expressed his intent to denounce Israeli settlements and push for cooperation, Prime Minister Hamdallah said he thinks that the two-state solution is vanishing. He went on to argue that Israel gets special treatment from the international community and is beyond reproach. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, however, asserted the exact opposite the day before, bringing up several examples of anti-Israel bias at the United Nations, including UNESCO resolutions that rewrite the history of Jerusalem, among other things. Following Guterres' meeting in Ramallah, he was informed that a group of alleged Palestinian mothers of detained children wanted to present a petition. Guterres reportedly welcomed the group and heard their pleas. According to the Wafa Palestinian news agency, however, at least one mother at the meeting has 4 sons in prison for life sentences on terror charges. The article goes on to allege that Guterres expressed sympathy for these women, but the United Nations has denied these claims. Guterres is now in the Gaza Strip on the last leg of his trip. We've been following the latest developments with Israel's troubled Egyptian embassy, which has been opened and closed twice already in the last decade. But now it looks like Israel's ambassador has just returned to Cairo with his entire staff, and head of the embassy's imminent reopening will be working out of his home. The ambassador and his staff were evacuated from Cairo 8 months ago after security threats erupted at the embassy gates. Similar situations forced an emergency airlift evacuation of the staff back in 2011 as well. Although Israel and Egypt signed a peace deal over 25 years ago, tensions between the people have remained extremely high. The Israeli government sees Egypt as a critical ally in the fight against Hamas, and for months now we've seen Israeli security convening in Cairo in hopes of reopening the embassy. Now though, with the Israeli ambassador's return to Egypt, it looks like things may finally be cooling off, and hopefully it means a true people's peace is soon to follow. A Holocaust memorial monument in the city of Balf, Hungary, was defaced this week, leaving officials worried but with no leads. The Hungarian government issued a strong condemnation of the vandalism, but though an investigation has begun, no suspects have yet been found. The monument commemorates Jewish slave workers who were forced to march and placed in Hungarian death camps and later murdered. It's made up of several dozen marble tablets shaped like headstones and arranged in such a way as to evoke a sense of people walking. At least 3 of the marble plates were smashed. In the latest installment of military aid deals signed with the United States, 17 new F-35 stealth fighter jets are set to be delivered to Israel. But after finding an undisclosed issue with another F-35 model, the shipment of the first 2 planes has been halted. The United States and Lockheed Martin, with whom the agreement is signed, are responsible for the $100 million aircraft. So to ensure the deal goes through as planned, the planes will now be subjected to a new inspection before finalizing their delivery and arrival. Scheduled originally to arrive today, the new expected time of delivery is not yet announced.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.